Okay.
Always interesting, isn't it?
Always find a different moment of silence.
Mel, there we go. We're live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good, finally. I think, yeah, okay, cool. I didn't invite anyone this week. I don't know why it messed up.
Hello, you're inviting them now.
You're being invited now. There you go, someone's invited. Okay, we're good? Thank you for being here. I'm Alan Clements. You know me, of course you know me. For those on Facebook, Facebook Live, anywhere you are, please, thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends. We've got the next 30 to 45 minutes to explore a topic. Very precious, very precarious to my life and heart. Addiction. I want to say fucking addiction, like fucking drop dead down killer addictions. Addictions that take you to your knees, that take you to the ground, that bury you, that put flesh back on your fucking bones. That all of a sudden you're resurrected to be taken down again and again and again. Addictions that can kill, can lacerate, to absolutely obliterate the worst forms of addictions, and even those that you don't even fucking know about. Like having to work. Slavery addictions, like fucking addictions I hate. Eating addictions. Oh, I hate eating and binging and throwing up. I love fucking. I hate it. Fucking addiction. Fucking addictions. I wanted to say sex addictions, too mild. How many human beings do fucking addiction? 8 billion fucking humans on the planet all got here through fucking. 4 billion years of life on this planet, all kind of procreating. It's just one big undulating, organic, psychic mess. I talk about addictions, the core apparatus, the core habit. I want to say right off the bat that I have no answer to this dilemma of being alive, confronting, challenging, struggling with, wrestling in, through, and around the organic, psychic, psychological, existential existence here and now, this thing that we're in, this embeddedness. If you could feel into it, I would invite you to make it experiential and see if in this next 30 minutes we can do something experientially to interrupt, bring attention to, awareness inside of the core habit where you, perhaps you, or you, or you, or you, or you, anywhere in the world, anyone listening, tuning in, where you feel the need to be more aware. That's all. That's the only thing that I ultimately want. Where do you feel intuitively, pre-intuitively, deeper into the cognitive recesses of your heart, where you cannot live without a resonant wisdom, a mindful presence to feel where you can fucking wake up? I don't mean stop. I'm not saying stop anything. I'm using the word elegantly and tenaciously interrupting the habit of unconsciousness. Addictions live in the darkness of my denial. Eyes wide open, and I don't see it. I'm living in the response to anxiety, and I'm basically saying that anxiety fix is more important than my future well-being. I need the anxiety assuaged. Give me the nipple, give me the cigarette, give me the masturbatory experience of being. Let me swim through this fucking stone, always hitting my head against a wall. I'll never get anywhere as long as I'm unaware of what? Halfway through. Awareness of what, Alan? Awareness of what? What do you feel that is unaware that you need to bring into cognitive attention? The comprehension that you can do it differently. Because if you don't, the feeling that you think you're getting from this particular blindness that you call this necessity of eating, fucking, killing, whatever you out there, all you white-collar bastards out there, killing, unaware of your fucking addiction to kill and denigrate, fuck you. Those are habits. We don't have those habits. We're civilized. What they're unaware of, what we're unaware of? What? Our vulnerability? Our common humanity? Are we not appreciating the dignity of the struggle of being human in this wild mess, this madness of life that we're embedded in? Fuck, man, beautify the reality of your life where you are. Stop the need to stop it, but feel with heightened stature that I am flawed, alive, wildly open, and I'm going to interrupt the core habit. And right there, insert slowing down. Taking the heart, taking the orgasm, taking the next purging of the endless proliferation of my suffering being antagonized by my denial and the repetition of my anxiety being met with my fear. And over I cycle downward into the gutter of now until I pick my fucking head up or I'm dead and I'm brought back to life. And what do you do again? You picked yourself up from the impulse and you feel right there. Slow down. Keyword, 3/4 in. Sanctify your soul. Addictions are the absence of dignity. An awareness of the innate worth of the individual who lives and breathes as you are, vulnerable, open, pure, complex, horrified, traumatized. Don't stop, but interrupt the core habit, which is the denial of your innate beauty. Beauty. Horrible word. I'm dirty, I'm ugly, I'm scummy, I vomit, I shit, I lie, I'm violent, I am horrible. What are you telling me I'm beautiful? Who ever told you that the face that you see in the mirror of your reflection should be seen as ugly? You are a conditioned organism based upon the shaping of fire and hell and water and damnation and war and belligerent parents that basically denigrated everything good, and Catholic priests and Buddhist priests and a fucking errant God who designed a fucking terrain that fucking has genocide in it. And we're the willing victims of thinking that we should have figured it out. Addictions are fucking good news. Beautify yourself, man. You're on the right side of life. Stop being seen as a shameful asshole that doesn't have their life together. You're among the chosen ones who feel. Beautify your life. Be at the confluence of your awakening. Feel the dignity of your life. Do not stop your addiction. Interrupt the shaming, the self-shaming. Stop it, stop it, stop it. How? Slow down. The last eighth of this talk. I was thinking before coming here about my mom, my dad. They died a year ago. I was in the attic of my home where I was brought up, in their home, feeling everything that they accumulated in their entire life was there in the house. And I was the son to sort it, to feel it. 96 years of life, both my mom and my dad. I saw so much that I never knew about them. All the various aspects of their life, the struggles, the tears, the hope, those beautiful wedding photographs. My God, my mother was so gorgeous. And there she was at 96, unable to walk with this incredible edema, the legs that looked like elephant's legs, and knuckled hands like this with arthritis, and a face that was so beautiful, so wrinkled, and stuck with needles and tubes, and basically having to shit and pee in her pants that no one could do unless someone brought them in and paid to have that fucking stuff cleaned from her body. And there she was, this beautiful specimen, a gorgeous, loving woman. And my dad, a military man, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of albums. I could not believe my eyes. Every letter I'd ever written as a monk to them. They saved them. I opened them. I cried and I wept at all these convolutions of life that they saved, now gone. What are we clinging to? There's levels of addiction. There's levels of compliance with the necessities. People who criticize me for being an addict for this or that. What about your addiction to your fucking money, dude? You and your plastic that you have the privilege to spend in your Land Rover. You fuck you. You're more addicted to the denigration of this planet than I am. I'm suffering, and you are too. But guess what? There's no future to believe in based upon your denial of your consumption, asshole. We're all fucking addicts. We're all out of control. The only way that I can see to beautify this thing is to beautify this thing, is to beautify and over, create a recognition of your innate stature. My mom died in dignity, and she didn't change a fucking thing. She took a breath. She released that breath. I'll close with this. I talked to her every day of her life before she died. For 6 months, I made calls to her, no matter what it was, or she called me. If she didn't pick up, I'd call 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I was in love with her. I knew that love would not last. And we talked. She talked to me about the loss of my dad and how horrible it was. She didn't want to live any longer because she'd lost the man of her life, although they fought for 35 fucking straight years. The bonding, the convolutions, the struggle, his alcoholism at times. My mom bought my own pack of cigarettes when I was 14 years old. I had that fucking tyranny around my neck until I was 45. I was a drop-down drunk at 12. I got in a car accident at 15. I had brain trauma. Can't you see it, Ellen? You're ugly. 600 scars later, traumatized, addiction, alcoholism, drug addiction, sex addiction, lying addiction, denial addiction. Enough of this self-hatred. Slow down and enter the beauty of your innate stature. Close. Clearly comprehending you have every right to own your life as it is right now, because 96 could be 26, could be 30, could be 31, could be 19. We have no bargain with tomorrow. It could end at any time. Do you want to die a shameful addict, or do you want to live in the stature of who you are, innately beautiful? Look into the mirror of your mindful reflection tonight and go, I am, I am, I am. Love yourself. Open your heart to yourself and begin to beautify those beautiful forces of transformation. There's the salvation. Put your life under intimate, mindful presence and to feel. Addictions are the unwillingness to really just feel as you are. Slow down. Slow down. Take the momentum out of our lives. Meditation, one of the most beautiful gifts you can give yourself. Just let the primordial flow of life just come through your heart and just feel, whatever it is, just feel the vulnerability, the tears, the anxiety. You want the next fix, whatever that next fix may be. Watch that impulsion coming through. You can't live without it. You can't live without it, except I am living without it. I'm slowing down. I'm mindfully, intimately feeling my life on the terms of just pure release. You have now interrupted the primordial flow of the core habit. Denial and the lack of awareness of mind and body, and in that That pure awareness innately is the embodiment of dignity. People want to overcome addictions. My only advice, sanctify your soul, come to terms with your heart, and find a resonant experience that you can call the dignity of my innate being as I am. The way you stand, the way you sit, the way you eat, the way you smoke, don't stop. Beautify, sanctify, create sacred energy, but slow it down. You want to have sacred sex? Just slow it down. Slow the walk down, slow the talk down, slow the food down, slow the driving down. Doesn't mean you go slow, just slow it. Take the neurosis out of it. That's all, just slow it. Be around people who are more conscious to take the neurosis out of the space. Slow it down. Listen more intimately to your heart, Alan. Addiction. Interrupting the core habit. Mindfulness, slowing down, and clear comprehension. Enter those places in one's heart. And as a final tool, I call it the 4-point inner Dharma asana. How to slow down? Wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, wherever you want to make a moment for yourself. Call it meditative, call it mindful intelligence, call it the interruption of the core habit. I do it every day, I practice it at night, I do the best I can to remember this. When you breathe in, feel yourself breathing. Feel your chest expand, feel your abdomen expand. When the breathing goes out, feel the chest and the abdomen just gently relax. Feel the sensations of beingness based upon breathing. Feel the sensations of beingness based upon breathing. There could not be a more pure thing that we do as human beings than breathe. Come right back to the core reality of what the organism does. We're breathing individuals, and through that breath, the oxygen, that psychoactive substances, that is a worthy addiction, to learn how to breathe. It interrupts everything. It's the breath of freedom. It's the breath of animation. Without that oxygen, my mom died. Everyone in this room, everywhere in this world, we live based upon this 7-mile high spread of atmosphere. Photons illuminate so we can see one another. We're living in a sacred environment. It's in us, it's who we are. Let that breathing, in-breath, out-breath, and then take the entire body as the 3rd point of this inner asana. Feel what it means simply to be embodied. Coming home is the way to interrupt the addiction. Coming home. Rising, falling, sitting, and then feel yourself just touching wherever you might be, your hands on your legs, your buttocks on the cushion, and just repeat that process of in-breath, out-breath, sitting, touching. If you ever need to stabilize wherever you are, walking in the world, I always try to remind myself, even at night when I wake up 2 or 3 times, I'll sit against the back of the bed. And it's not the addiction to substances alone, or this or that, or just consumerism, the fetish to buy. It's the pure knowledge that I can live in choice. And to me, dignity is sanctified by knowing that you're bringing an awareness to the most creative force within consciousness, choosing our state of mind, owning the reality of our own leadership, and not to abscond from that through the denial of the habit of fixing anxiety as in some way preferable than living a more free and luminous future. Give up the anxiety, feel it, in breath, choosing to stabilize in dignity. Mindfully slowing down and clearly comprehending, in breath, out breath, sitting, touching, in breath, out breath, sitting, touching. And repeat that process whenever you need to stabilize, and let that be the guidance to our future of love, self-love. From my heart, thank you very much for listening. If you want to take a moment to to talk or to have questions, you want to dive into anything personal, I'm fully here for that. Just take a moment, let it sit in, think about it for a minute, and just wherever you may want to go, I am all ears and heart. Okay, so if there's no questions, then we'll end. One more time. Anything at all that you have, feel free. Okay. From my heart, thank you for coming out. Those of you on Facebook, please tell your friends, spread the good news. I hope there's something in this of value to you. And see you next Wednesday, or excuse me, next Thursday or next Monday. What's today, Monday? What is it? Monday. Today's Monday? Next Thursday, see you. Okay, from my heart, thank you.